You are listening to A Path to a New You, a podcast about mental health, veterans issues, current events, and more. My goal is to educate those who listen on different topics related to mental health issues, related to self care, and veterans issues. I will have guests and co hosts throughout this podcast. My guests and co hosts will have experience or specialize in topics that I will be discussing throughout. If you know someone or you are someone who's listening who specializes in anything mental health related, please contact me. I do have a Facebook page, Path to New You Facebook page, where you can reach out to me. Also, like that Facebook page as well. Um, the more, the better. I am a therapist located in Madison, Wisconsin. I have over 15 years of experience working in the mental health field. I have worked at an inpatient facility. I have experience working at outpatient settings, in a jail setting, and I've worked all over the place. And my private practice has been open for about 6 years. I am a um, private practice. Private pay means I don't take insurance. My goal by the end of this year is to start taking insurance. But again, there's all this paperwork and stuff that's involved. I do have a Facebook page, like I mentioned, for this podcast called The Path to New You. I will post information and questions on there as well as links to this podcast. Again, please like this page so you can stay up to date on this podcast. Um, Also, this podcast is only available on Spotify at the moment. So you go on Spotify, look up A Path to New You, click follow, and then you'll know when I have new episodes up. I plan on doing one episode a week. Maybe sometimes more down the road, but right now I'm focused just more on one because I got a lot of stuff going on. I also have a Facebook page for my private practice called the New Begins Counseling LLC. There I post a lot of stuff on self care and mental health stuff. Um, Also, if you are looking for treatment, please contact me. You can message me through there. Let me know what you're looking for. I do specialize in PTSD, anger management, depression, anxiety, also substance abuse. I have my substance abuse counseling license as well. Please reach out. Also, I do have a number for you to call, and you can text this number as well if you reach out because you're looking for services. Since my private practice, we are looking for new clients or new patients. We do have several openings available. Our number for the our number is 608-571-3896. Again, that number is 608-571-3896. You can either call or text that number. If you call, leave a detailed message saying what you're looking for, and also you can text that as well. I am extremely affordable. I will work with you. If you can't afford what I charge, I do have a sliding scale, and like I said, I will work with you. All right, so I believe this is like the ninth week that I've done this podcast. So far, I think it's been going pretty well. I've talked about different topics. I know there's a few people who've been listening. I wanted to be more. Um, so hopefully down the road, I'll have more people listening. But today's podcast, I want to talk about steps to making this the best year yet. I know we're January what 8th? Is it 8th? Anyway, we're January 7th. Actually, it's January 7th. So we're like 1 week into the New Year's. I know a lot of us have these New Year's resolutions that we have, and we're trying to improve ourselves and trying to um, achieve these goals. I know I got several goals that I want to achieve. Some of them I'm actually working on really well. One of them is working out. I've been working out every day, and I've been doing different types of workouts, and I've been drinking a lot more water too. So that's been definitely helping. So I've that's one some of my goals as well. But I want to talk about just steps to making this the best year yet. I found an article on psychology today. I want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Also, add a few things of my expertise in it as well. To live fully, we must find a way to balance between living every day as it's our last and being in the present moment. It remains critical for us to be in the here and now with what is rather than what ifs. A lot of us think about that. What if? What if this happened? What if that happened? Stop thinking about that. We want more of what is happening. Don't do that what ifs. I got to work on that too, for sure. According to the CDC, the National Center for Health Statistics, or the NCHS, Americans born in 2021 can expect to live for just 76.1 years, the lowest life expectancy since 1996. This is the biggest 2-year decline, 2.7 years in total in almost 100 years. The COVID pandemic is the primary cause of this decline. However, increases in the number of individuals dying from drug overdoses and accidents have also been significant factors. Yeah, with all this stuff going on with COVID, I know on the news they're always talking about people overdosing on drugs and car accidents and any kind of accidents. That's been up on the uprise on the last few years. Um, Life is undoubtedly precious and relatively short. Who can have expected a pandemic to impact us in the way it has and continue to? It had a pandemic for about 2 years. We were really couldn't go anywhere for over a year. So everything was at home. We really couldn't go out. If we did, we wore masks. So yeah, that took a toll on everybody. Um, I know I know drinking went up too during that time because what people worked from home, which actually became more popular. The virtual working from home became extremely more popular now due to the pandemic. So the pandemic did help in one way, but then you're at home, and then after you're done home, what are you gonna do? People are drinking like heavily too. Not myself. I'm just saying like others I've known who I've worked with have been drinking heavily in that case. So a few of the things we can do to make this the best year yet. Why don't we just pause for a minute? Take some pauses throughout the day. Take some breaks, like a mental health break, whether it be your lunch break or after work or before work or anything like that, or on the weekend. Take a break. Take a break to pause. Do like a mindfulness. I'll talk about mindfulness in another episode. I've used mindfulness quite a bit. I personally use it, and it's great to just be sitting there or just being there in the moment. Just notice your surroundings. That definitely helps. Like do a body scan independently. Just focus. There's meditations out there too with that help with the body scans and stuff. You can find all that stuff on like YouTube and whatnot too. I know I have a Peloton, so I got the app, and they have body scan meditations on the app. Those meditations can be anywhere from 5 minutes to like 30 minutes, depending what kind of meditation it is. Um, there's also meditation and mindfulness apps you can use. A lot of them are free. Some of them are free. I didn't say a lot of them. Some of them are free with a trial, but then they cost per month depending the app. These apps actually definitely help you notice how you feel when you're interacting and reacting with others. Reach your potential. Evaluate whether you're just existing or truly living out your best life. Why don't you ask yourself whether you're living out your values and goals, if there are barriers getting in the way? Explore your thoughts and feelings about those barriers and problem solve. Just think about it. Just think about where you're at and your values, um, how you're doing your goals. I'd say like once or twice a week, just sit down and write down or look at your goals you were trying to achieve during the New Year's resolution. Um, I think I did mention one of my other podcasts to post to put your goals on the refrigerator. Take a moment, like once a week, just look at them, see what your goals are and where you're at, so you know like where you're at and what you need to work on. Take an inventory of your relationships. Continue and proactively work on those connections that fulfill you. This means putting in focus, effort, and attention to making yourself vulnerable, expressive, and deeply connected in a way that you may not be used to or feel uncomfortable with. So just take a minute and see where your relationships are at. There's people, I don't know, your friends. Who are your true friends? Who are the people that you're acquainting with and whatnot? Just take inventory of that. Get out of your comfort zone. Good things happen when you stretch ourselves and expand our flexibility. Our fears and inhibitions, rigidly fixed ideas and opinions, stunt our growth and perpetuate the beliefs and narratives we tell ourselves. So just get out of your comfort zone. Do something that you are kind of uncomfortable with. And once you do it, you're out of your comfort zone. Just, I got a problem with that too. I don't have a problem with it, but the thing I need to work on because I don't like getting in my comfort zone. Realize that you don't have time is another one. Their time is so precious, especially these days. Everybody, including myself, we're extremely busy. Like every day, Monday through Sunday, we are busy. And we just gotta notice that we're busy, and then we have to make time. We have to make time, put time aside to do certain things. So just realize you don't have time, but you have to make time for it. Whether it's just like 5 to 10 minutes, just put 5 to 10 minutes aside. Um, Always notice what you've learned. Notice that this year you lost, won, failed, cried, laughed, loved, and all of the above learned. There's something to be learned from every situation. For example, if you go and get into an disagreement with someone, be sure to leave the situation learning something about yourself and about the other person and about the relationship that you can take into the future. So again, just notice what you learned. You know, an argument, you can always learn something in an argument or any situation you can learn. Hear more, build understanding, empathy, and tolerance. Don't only listen, but also intently hear others. Just make sure that you hear them when they're talking. We typically listen with the intent to respond and defend rather than to hear and lend to our understanding of others. So, I guess a good example would be when I'm listening to someone and they're saying something. In my mind, I am trying to figure out what my answer is going to be instead of fully listening to them. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has that situation. So I'm trying to learn with that too, trying to improve my situation on that too. Just listen, hear that person out instead of like focusing on what is my what am I going to say back? What's my answer going to be? What am I going to say? Instead of thinking about what you're going to say after they're talking, once you just fully listen to what that person's saying, just understand that person. Why is that person saying that? Think about whether this will really. Yeah, I can't even speak. Think about whether this will really matter a few days from now. So an argument or any of some sorts. I just think to yourself, will this matter in a couple of days? Is it really such a big deal that I'm fussing over? Because usually it's not. In a few days, it'll be over with. 10th, act from your values rather than your thoughts and feelings alone. And this will help you connect to your self compassion and self confidence and be your best self. You deserve a life that fuels you and one that you're personally proud of. Don't live the same year again. Make a change that's meaningful and enduring. For this year and every year, simply take one more step toward your authentic, wholehearted self. You're incredible. You're about to initiate steps toward the greatest year of your life. You're proactively making that choice. Take small steps just to improve your life, just improve your situation. Yeah, that's I'm sure we all have that goal. Is take in order to improve a certain situation, we have to make small steps. Just think about it for a minute. Think about is this really something to argue over? Could I just leave it alone? Is this gonna matter in a couple days or in a week from now? Yeah. Anyway, um, again, this is a Path to New You, podcast about mental health, veterans issues, current events, and more. I will eventually have guests on this show or co-host. Hopefully, the more I, s- the more people who know about this, maybe the better chance I have of um having guests or whatnot. Uh, so I do for guests and co-hosts. I use Zoom. Zoom is perfect for this. So if I have a co-host or a guest, they don't have to come to me. I don't have to come to them. I can always use Zoom. That definitely works. I know there was a an episode where I did use Zoom because I had a friend on who was helping me as a co-host. So yeah, if you're here listening to this and you really want to be part of my show because you have something that you either did learn or you are in the mental health field and you'd like to educate someone on a certain specialty, you specialize in certain something that you think be interesting, please reach out. Again, I use I use Zoom, so I can just send you a link to my Zoom, and then whenever time you have, I can always just record our interview and our little take, and then I can always post this later, post the episode later and whatnot. So I hope you've been enjoying this podcast. Please follow my podcast on Spotify. Just click follow, and then you'll know when I have new episodes up. Um, I hope everyone has a good rest of the day. And again, be well, take care of yourself, and there's nothing wrong with taking a mental health day. Again, you've been listening to A Path to New You.